Hello everyone and welcome to the first software and hardware troubleshooting video on this YouTube channel. My name is JamesTheITGuy, and in this YouTube video we will be focusing on how to troubleshoot a micro SD card. You can't see it because it's in the adapter, but this is the micro SD card that we will be troubleshooting, and this is the adapter that came with the micro SD card. As I'm recording this video, I am also recording a video in which I am reviewing a bundle which consists of a micro SD card and a GoPro set. And if you're interested in that video, feel free to click the I in the top right hand corner of the screen, as it will take you to a link to my video that I'm reviewing. But as I was unboxing the SD card, I noticed that the SD card doesn't work. And to prove it to you all today, I am actually going to insert it into my computer and see if it works. So we'll log into File Explorer right now, which this is File Explorer, and I'm just going to shrink this because we don't need this covering the entire screen. But, and yeah, there probably is some stuff that I'm going to be blurring as well, as I just have information on there that needs to be blurred. But if I were to go ahead and click this PC, and I were to insert the SD card, you'll notice that you'll hear, well, if you don't hear it, that's okay, but there was a small doo-doo-doo, which means that the SD card is in the computer. But here's the problem. It doesn't show up. So then the question then becomes, how do you troubleshoot something that doesn't show up? Well, there are a few things that you can do in order to figure out if the SD card actually works. And I think the first thing that you can go to is disk management. So to prove to you today, to prove that the disk is inserted into the computer, you can go to disk management on your Windows PC, and this consists of hitting the Windows icon and typing in disk management, and you can click on create and format hard disk partitions. So if I go to disk management right here, you'll see that there is a few different hard drives in here already. The first hard drive is just a spare internal hard drive that's in my laptop right now, nothing too major. The next one is the actual C drive itself, which has a few different partitions in it. I think one is 260 megabytes. I said megabits for a second. I'm getting confused with internet and storage. But you have 260 megabytes in one partition, then you have 930.62 gigabytes in another, and then 512 megabytes in another. Why do I keep getting confused with megabits and megabytes? If you don't know what megabits and megabytes is, megabits is internet for, a byte is about 8 bits, and so a bit is actually smaller than a byte. So that's the difference between a megabyte and a megabit, in case you're interested. But yes, as we can see here, there is another disk in here which contains 32 megabytes unallocated and 238.72 gigabytes of allocated storage. This would indicate to us that the SD card does work, as if it didn't work, we would not see it on here. So how come it doesn't show up on the screen? Well, there's a wide variety of different reasons to this, and in order to diagnose it, the first thing we can do is just simply unplug the SD card itself. And that's what we're going to do right here. There may be a different way to eject the SD card, but if we go to here, there really is no other alternative here because there's no devices connected. So we're just going to go ahead and pull it out. And as you can see, there were two sounds that came out of there, so something's not working with this SD card adapter. So another thing you can check is to make sure that it's not locked, and right now it is. So just to double check to make sure if it's the adapter or not. I don't expect this to work, but you can switch it to lock and see if it works. Now, I read some online sources that would say that it's not going to work, but I'm just going to check just because I'm curious. And after checking, nothing pops up, as we would expect. Nothing does pop up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out again. And another option that you can do is if you have multiple adapters like this, you can test it with another adapter to see if it works. And maybe just to keep trying just to see if it works with another device. Another option that you can do too is, instead of seeing if it works in another adapter or another device, is you can also reformat the SD card. So if I plug the SD card back in, you can go directly to disk management again. You'll see that it's allocated and unallocated, and you can simply choose to wipe or I guess you can't wipe it. Give me 1 second here. 1 second of diagnosing/thinking later. Okay, so it doesn't look like you can actually wipe the SD card, which is a little bit of a problem. Because typically what you can do is you can choose to hit the delete volume, and then you can simply wipe the SD card itself, and then you should be able to reallocate the storage from there. But apparently in this, you can't really delete the volume here. So that would be another thing you could potentially do. So we can't actually do that. But if you could simply delete the volume and reformat the disk to then work for whatever your purposes are. So unfortunately, that doesn't work. So the next thing you can do is you can take the SD card out, and like I said before, if you have a spare SD card adapter laying around, which I do not seem to have right now, I'll be back in a second because I have to get the actual SD card itself. Be right back. So what you can do is I have a spare micro SD card adapter, because pretty much every micro SD card you get will come with these little adapters. And it's to make it easier on yourself, especially if you only have an SD card adapter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this SD card. I'm going to take this SD card here, and we're essentially going to pull the SD card, the micro SD card, out of here, like so. Then we'll reinsert it into this adapter, like so. And keep in mind, this is an older adapter. And then it will be able to fit like so. We'll then take this micro SD card adapter and fit this into the SD card slot and see if it works. Because it doesn't hurt to test another adapter to see if it works. Lo and behold, it doesn't work again. If we go to our disk management again, which I mistakenly exited out, that's not what I meant to search. We can see that it doesn't work. Though we're still seeing the partition. So the assumption I'm led to believe is maybe these SD card adapters do not work well with micro SD cards that are above a certain gigabyte amount. So if we can't use those adapters, what else can we do? And we can't reformat the drive, so what else can we do then? Well, there's another option. The other option is we eject the SD card like so. Which I should also remind each and every one of you that you should never just pull out the SD card straight from the laptop itself. The reason for this is because, I mean, especially if you can see the SD card, you want to make sure you eject it first, because if you don't eject it, you could risk corrupting the SD card. So that's just a disclaimer here, and I'll probably put that in the video as well, that you should be very careful before extracting this. So yeah, after we extract it, we can try a different adapter, and a different adapter that isn't an SD card adapter. So what I have here is a Type-C to micro SD card adapter, as shown here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the micro SD card out from the adapter, like so. I'll probably do close-ups here too. My video skills are going to be a little bit rusty, but I hope I do well. So we have our SD card. Then we're going to go ahead and put the SD card directly into here, like so. And once we have our SD card in the adapter itself, we'll then go ahead and plug that Type-C adapter into the laptop and see if it works. This should work. So we can see that it is recognized, and it shows up in here. How is that possible? I have no idea. And it looks like we can load information on here because I actually was doing some trials prior to this video to see if it works, because if it didn't work, I'm going to have to return it. But I tried it prior to this video and voila, it works just fine. And I think off video, I'm just going to verify that it can hold a certain amount of gigabytes, because I want to make sure it can hold 100 gigabytes without it corrupting itself. Because there are some SD card scams out there that will scam the storage so well that some of the videos will just be corrupted. So, and I'm just going to verify that all this is good. Yeah, it seems like it. All of these are in large icons. Oh yeah, it's going to go do its thing. If you're curious, all of these videos I have on here are actually takes from my trailer video that I shot a while back, and I'm sorry for not recording a while. Been busy, but there's a bunch of videos there. But that's besides the point. So the SD card works itself with the new adapter. Now, if you don't have a Type-C to micro SD card adapter, you may and you can't reformat the SD card, because that's what we tried to do. We tried to go here and we tried to reformat it. Which now it seemed, okay, fine. You can reformat now that there's a Type-C adapter, but before you couldn't reformat on this stupid SD card adapter, which tells me this was just a one-way adapter. Either way, the micro SD card did not work. So what do you do from there if you can't reformat the SD card itself? Well, you can do one or two things. You can either get an adapter and try it there, or if you don't want to pay for an adapter, I would recommend just returning it and saying, hey, my SD card did not connect the first time, so I think I should get a new SD card. Another option you can do too is, if that doesn't work, you can try connecting it to another device. So if you have a smartphone with an SD card slot, you can try connecting it to there. For me, I just basically took my Type-C adapter, plugged it into my phone, and I'm able to see the SD card just fine. I'm not going to show that for you because we were able to get this work in this video, but yeah. Well, basically that's how you troubleshoot a micro SD card at that point. You basically go through the ropes of trying new adapters like these and see if that works. Or, I mean, if you don't want to try using the adapter, see if you can reformat the SD card. And then if you can, go ahead and do so, which consists of just deleting the volume and then reformatting. But since it works here, I'm not going to do that. But it's a good note to the future that I'm going to need to use my Type-C adapter, which is also annoying for me because I use my Type-C adapter for a second monitor I have. So, but that's for a different video. In summary, we troubleshooted a micro SD card by using a lot of different approaches. We tested it via adapters. Or we tested it via this adapter and this adapter, so all two micro SD card adapters. We also made sure we couldn't reformat the drive, because if we could, then maybe we could do something there. And then we also used the Type-C adapter, and lo and behold, it would work. Again, future steps would be you either try it in another device, see if it works there, or you just go straight to the retailer you purchase the SD card from, and then you're good. So that's it for this video. I appreciate all of you watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in the type of content that you saw, and you would like to see more content in the future, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and tap the bell icon for more notifications. Also, if you're interested in this type of content and you would like to see more videos on this specific content that's probably in this video, there's a playlist right next to you, right here, that will show a lot of videos of that type of content. And there's also a video recommended to you of content you may be interested on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.